Today we're going to finish learning the steps for the Shim Sham. Alright, so we know all of the basic steps for the first part of the Shim Sham. The second part of the Shim Sham, we repeat those basic steps, but we take out the break. And on the break, we just do a pause for that count. So the key is keeping the time. But after you listen to that song for quite a while, you should start to hear where you should be transitioning in the steps. And remember, you can always start on the 8 and keep the 8 count going. So we'll review the steps that we know with the breaks, and then we'll practice doing those steps again and freezing. And then we'll move into the very last part of the Shim Sham, which is a kind of shuffle back move, where you clap and shuffle back and then walk forward, clap and shuffle back, and then you do Shorty George, it's called. So we'll do that at the end. But first, let's just review what we've learned so far. Remember, 8 count dance starts on the 8 with the Shim Sham step. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Into the break. Into the push crossover. And then a crossover, and a crossover, and in the tacky Annie. Right, and then you go into the break. Into the half break, as it's called, the last move we learned, where you jump forward, jump back, kick, ball change, jump forward, jump back, kick, ball change, and then the regular break. And do it again. Okay, so that gets us through all of the basic Shim Sham steps. Now we repeat them, and we'll pause on the break. So 5, 6, 7, 8 on the Shim Sham step. And then you freeze. 5, 6, 7, 8 into the push crossover. And then you go straight into the tacky Andy. Hold it, because it's the break. 5, 6, 7, 8, half break. Hold. Half break. Hold. And from here we'll do the shuffle backs, but let's just try that much to the music. I'll turn around and we'll dance together, all right? half brake. Hold. Now you're gonna do this surface crack, alright? Okay, so we've just finished the whole set of Shim Sham steps with the breaks. Then you repeat the whole thing with holding during the breaks. And after we finish that last half break step that we learned, right, this one, and then we're holding 5, 6, 7, 8, and so you clap and you kind of bounce back. Okay, for 4 times. So it's 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you step forward like this, kind of a swagger for 8 counts. Then you go back again, so a variation going back on the clap, so you can do it like this, or you can kick your foot out and kind of shuffle like this. Okay, it's up to you, and you can interchange that however you want. So 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll do this twice. Back. Okay, so after doing that swagger forward twice, we move back again with the claps, and when we get to 8, we're going to do what's called a shorty George. So first you do a kick ball change to get onto the left foot, or off of the left foot, I should say, right? So kick ball change, and then kind of make pointers with your fingers, and you're going to kind of walk like this. Try to keep your knees together, and you just kind of move your hips. And you do that for 8, walking forward. So it'd be 8, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you clap back again. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's the last move of the Shim Sham. And traditionally, after doing this with a bunch of people, the song is not over yet, so you would break into dancing and you find the nearest person and keep doing the Lindy Hop. So let's review the whole thing, all right, to the music. And that way you can kind of follow along and try to do it. And then once we've done that, we'll talk about some ways you can add flair. Okay. So I'll turn around so you can follow along. and you should be able to follow along with the Frankie Manning video, which is part of our playlist here. He has some different styles to how he does the steps, but it all works together, and you should be able to follow along with the version that you learned. So you'll notice he does the break a little bit differently, but it all works, it's basically the same thing. Okay, so some things you can do, once you get the steps down, you want to think about style a little bit. So you'll notice in the Frankie Manning video, he has lots of style. And you can try to imitate some of that. So some of the things he does, for example, on the Shim Sham step, especially the second one where you pause on the break, he shakes his shoulders, right? There's a little shimmy, the Shim Sham shimmy as it was called. So you could add that to it, right? So you're like this. Okay, so that's one thing that you can do. Another you can do when you're doing these big steps out, he does this with his hands, so it just adds a little something. And then when you're doing the Shorty George, you can kind of pew, pew, pew. But people do different things, and you'll find your own style as you work on it. So congratulations, you've learned the whole Shim Sham dance. I'm very proud of you. Our next series will be solo Charleston, so stay tuned for new lessons.